Welcome to Recovery Dharma, everybody. My name is Josh, and I am one of the facilitators here at the Spokane Sangha Soul Center. Uh, Here at Soul Center, we explore, um, we explore different topics every month, and Julia has posted those topics on the Soul Center website. And this month, we've been exploring the five worldly elements, being um, earth, air, fire, water, and space, or the ether. And each one of these elements represents uh, different concepts, um, both internal and external, literal and symbolic. And this week we're exploring the water element. And the water element, as I've come to learn after doing some reading this week, it represents the literal water, liquid elements of our life, right? Like drinking our water or anything else liquid that we consume, and that external liquid coming into our body and becoming part of our internal liquids, which, as most of you are probably aware, is most of what we're made up of, everything from the blood, sweat, and tears, and then all the other little juices that flow around in us. But it also represents the fluid, it symbolizes fluidity around us in the universe. And emotions are a big part of that. Just the fluid nature of our experience here. And I've had a recent experience that illustrated that one beautifully for me. We have our children, who are all adults, have returned for the holiday over the last couple of days. And for us being empty nesters now, it's been as exciting as it used to be waiting for Santa to bring presents. Um, but we're a blended family, so we've got there's a couple different parental units and cousins and aunts and uncles scattered around this area. And very quickly, once the children started pouring into town, they packed up, which is what they like to do. They all love each other, and so they lump together as a group, and suddenly all of our plans have been cast by the wayside. Um, and it's been very interesting to notice my reaction to that and to observe some of the other parents' reactions to that, because there was very little consulting done on our side of this equation. And I will admit that I got butt hurt. I was not the number one priority for this group of adult children. Um, and I was not the only one who got their feelings hurt. But uh, then the other, had once I got over that, realizing that I'm not the most important one in the picture, um, it's a really beautiful thing to see these children that, are all adults now come together as really, really great friends who love each other. Um, and the way they're prioritizing being together and then making a point to give each one of the parents' homes their share of the time, which I think I should get 100%, but apparently so does everybody else, and none of us are going to get what we want. Uh, and looking at it from that point of view, me and my wife discussed it, and all of a sudden, instead of being hurt, it's like, wow, that is really, really beautiful. We're watching these people, um, they've made a conscious decision to try to be fair to all the different parents. But really, like, I don't know if I would say it's selfish or not, or if they're just drawn. They're such a tight-knit group. Getting to watch that as is actually I think I'm getting more joy from that than if I just had them sitting with me and chit-chatting or playing cards for the next 2, 3 days. And being able to flow with that emotion, I credit this practice with the ability to do that. Um, it's, I've said this before, I often forget that this is a recovery program. Um, but there are times when I'm reminded when I was in the throes of my habit energy, my addiction, uh, how difficult a time I had with emotion. And it was so easy to clamp down on something that hurt my feelings or pissed me off, and then just really, you know, sink my teeth into that and ride that into a bad place. Um, I could clamp down on anger or rage or resentment as, like a pit bull. And now, I get my feelings hurt and how does that go, Julia? Well, would you look at that? And it's it's so illuminating, um, and it's very freeing for me. And being able to apply these lessons to my recovery so that when I have those moments where I waver in my abstinence, um, I get urges, I get cravings, and I have thoughts. Um, Being able to just notice that and have it be a fluid experience where I just take a look at it and thankfully watch it sail on by. It's continues to really make this recovery way more of a success and a pleasant success than I've experienced in the past. And with that, I would like to share a meditation with you all. So, if you want to find yourself some stillness, if you can, if you're going to be moving around, that's cool too. We might turn your camera off, or if you want to turn it off, just so that people that are being still don't get distracted by that. And I will ask that you join me. Go ahead and find yourself a posture of comfort that feels stable and supportive for you. You can sit upright in a chair or on a cushion. You can lay down on a couch or on your mattress or even on your floor. If it's available to you to be still, and if you care to, close your eyes or lower your gaze and soften your focus. And just take a moment to arrive here in this moment, right now, and begin bringing attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. There's no need to control your breath. Simply notice it as it is, flowing in and flowing out. With each inhale, feel your body receiving support. And with each exhale, feel your body settling, releasing just a little bit more. Allow your breath to anchor you here in the present, here in this present moment, the only place where healing and change can occur. Now, gently bring awareness to your physical body. Notice the points of contact where your feet are on the floor, your seat on a cushion or on your chair, your back if you're laying down. Feel your hands resting where they are, on your lap or beside you, or on your heart, and feel the steadiness beneath you. If your mind wanders, that's okay. A wandering mind is not a failure, it's simply part of being human. Each time you notice your mind drifting, just gently come back to your breath, bringing your attention to your body, back to the moment. Today, we reflect on the element of water, an element deeply connected to emotion, adaptation, and transformation. Water does not resist change. It moves around obstacles, it flows, evaporates, gathers in pools and streams and rivers. In recovery, we're learning to move with life rather than against it, to feel our emotions without being overwhelmed by them, to soften instead of hardening, to flow instead of freezing. Visualize now in your mind the vast ocean. See its wide horizon stretching beyond what the eye can measure. Feel its depth. It's ancient, patient, steady, massive. The ocean represents wholeness, the part of you that is complete, even when you feel broken. It represents the truth that you belong exactly as you are. Imagine yourself standing safely at the shoreline, or perhaps floating gently on the water, either in a boat or floating in the water, unsupported by anything but the ocean itself, effortlessly. The ocean does not judge what flows into it. Rivers bring clean water and polluted water alike, and still the ocean receives. In this same way, our practice invites you to meet your own experience without judgment, your joys and your regrets, strength and struggles. Silently to yourself, say, like the ocean, I allow what arises. Notice the waves of the ocean. Some are small and gentle, some are strong, crashing unpredictably. Emotions are like these waves. They rise, they move, and they fall away. In the throes of our addiction, we may have learned to fear emotional waves or to try to escape them. But in recovery, we practice riding that wave, staying present without being pulled under. Bring to mind an emotional state that you've experienced recently. Nothing overwhelming, but something that stands out in your memory. Notice how it feels in your body. Where do you sense it? Is there a tightness in your chest, an uneasiness in your belly? Now, observe, without trying to change it, how sensations shift or soften or move. Like water, emotions are impermanent. They don't stay fixed unless we cling to them. Take a few breaths here, allowing the truth of change to be felt, not just understood. Now, imagine the sun warming the surface of that ocean and the water slowly evaporating, rising into the sky. Imagine the gentle warmth, not burning, not forcing, lifting the water upward. This evaporation represents insight and intention, the moments when our awareness grows, when clarity begins to form. In recovery, this is the willingness to pause, to reflect, to choose a different response. Imagine any heaviness you are carrying, shame, guilt, exhaustion, being gently lifted like the water, particle by particle, little by little, becoming lighter. There's no rush, nothing's being ripped away. It's just a natural process of release. Breathing in allows support. Breathing out allow lightness. Now, imagine the evaporated water gathering into clouds. Clouds hold moisture without any judgment. They don't cling, but they also do not reject. These clouds represent community, our Sangha, and its teachings and support, the people here, our practices and principles that help hold us when we can't hold ourselves. Our recovery is not something we're meant to do alone. Allow yourself to sense what it feels like to be held by the group, the Sangha, by our shared intention, by compassion. Even if the trust feels difficult, simply acknowledge the possibility of that support. Reflect now how eventually these clouds release the water as rain. And feel that gentle rain falling, not a storm, but a steady, nourishing rainfall. And this rain represents compassion, compassion in action, the ability to return to life with kindness, to care for the parts of yourself and for others that are dry or wounded. Imagine that rain touching the earth, soaking into the ground, feeding plants, filling lakes and creeks, restoring balance. This is the practice of showing up, one day, one moment at a time. This practice in our recovery is not perfection. It's return again and again. As the rain falls, streams form, streams become rivers, and these rivers flow back toward the ocean, not in a straight line, but through twists and turns. Our recovery, too, is not linear. There may be detours, slow stretches, moments of uncertainty, crashing waterfalls or dams. But the water does not shame itself for changing direction. It simply keeps moving. As you breathe now, reflect gently. What helps me keep flowing? What helps me return when I drift? There's no need for an answer. Just notice what arises when you ask yourself these questions. Now, imagine the water returning once again to the ocean. This cycle continues endlessly, patiently. Rest here for a few breaths in this sense of belonging. Like with the water, nothing in our practice is wasted. Nothing is outside our path. Your experiences, even the painful ones, can become a part of wisdom and compassion. Allow yourself to rest in this understanding. As we come to the end of this meditation, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Notice your breath. Notice the room around you. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Come back into this moment. Namaste. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure. I'd like to close out with a dedication of merit. May the understanding and calm cultivated through this practice flow gently through our lives like water finding its way home. May the merit of this meditation support our recovery, strengthen our compassion, and help us meet each moment with clarity and care. May all who struggle with suffering and addiction find safe passage, supportive community, and the courage to keep returning to this path of healing. And may all beings, like water itself, be free to flow, to change, and to be at peace. Namaste, friends.